views and opinions expressed on this program or the products endorsed on this program are not necessarily those of KTLB Radio.
Good morning, Oklahoma City, and welcome to the Clara Luper Show. In a moment, your host, Sister Clara Luper.
Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Father, I
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you, wherever you are. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and today's show is being brought to you by Marilyn Hildreth, April Hildreth, Calvin Luper, from Allstate Insurance Company, located at 730 North Britain Road. The telephone number is 843-0811. They want you to come out and let them look at your insurance policy. See what they can do to make sure that you have the type of insurance that you need. Telephone number again is 843-0811. Call them on Monday. They will be in the office. Today's program is one in which Mr. Robert Gates of Gates Barber Shop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King, says, come on by and get your hair cut today and be ready for the big celebrations. This is October. This is a new month, and during a new month, you want to look good like you should. Robert Gates, 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. When we think of a mortgage company, I want you to think of Phenomenal Mortgage Company. I want you to call Avery Hicks, 424-2100. If you are purchasing your home for the first time, if you are refinancing your home, or if you want to be debt-free, call 424-2100. The Deltas are getting ready to celebrate, and now I would like to talk to every Delta in the state of Oklahoma. The Delta Sorority, the Oklahoma City alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, will turn back the hands of time at their 6th annual scholarship and masquerade ball. That's on Saturday, October the 25th, from 9 to 1 at the Tinker Air Force Base Club. Music by Short Dog. There will be a photographer there to take your pictures, and they will give a prize to the best costume. How about that? Wear your best costume. Wear your best costume. If not, create a new costume. There'll be orders, a cash bar, and the donations are only $25 a person. Remember, no tickets will be sold at the door. Photo ID will be required. Now, this is according to the president, Mrs. Brenda Griggs. The committee, which consists of Helen Giga. The co-chairman is Danita Carr and LaShonda Snyder. LaShonda Brawls, the co-chairman. Now, let me give you a telephone number. You can call 424-0415 or 670-2529. Now, if you're a Delta, I'm talking about a real Delta, be sure and call your Delta sisters and put this over. It's the Deltas turn back the hands of time. Well, today, Calvin is at the Czech Festival in Yukon, and we'll be hearing from him during this broadcast. In the meantime, we missed our words of wisdom. We have missed someone else, but we expect them to call us at 672-1220. We expect them to call. I do have a story that I want to tell you. It's a story of opportunity. It's a story that I want you to remember. And I want you to listen very carefully at this story, because it was something unusual about it. Or was it a story? What is history other than the story? The story of men, their victories, and their achievements. Tell the story. Tell the story to such an extent that people will remember the story. Get your pen and pencil and write a story. I picked up my pen and I wrote these words. It was nothing unusual about last Tuesday. Last Tuesday, it was nothing unusual about it. It was September the 30th, 2003. There were clouds in the sky, and as I left my home, the rain like teardrops fell from the sky or from the clouds. But in spite of the rain, I was headed out east, headed to the loving St. James Baptist Church. When I arrived, the rain had slowly faded away. And I arrived about 10 minutes after 10, and the car lots were filled with cars of all descriptions. Something is going on here. Something had happened in that community. There were people of all descriptions and all ages. People that had left their jobs, their schools, their hospitals, their businesses, and had walked out of retirement because this was Tuesday. It was nearing 11 o'clock. The church was filled to capacity. The ushers were busy putting additional seats in the aisle and in other parts of the church. What had happened? What had actually happened was a historical event. Mr. Ori Earl Anderson Sr. was being laid to rest. His services were under the auspices of the Raw Funeral Home. It was a long story. Soft music, soft processional music was being played by Marva White and Danny Frazier. And as a family entered the church, a large family, a family that was filled with gratitude, members of the family went to the choir stand amid the soft music. Reverend Parker led 16 ministers from all over this city into the pulpit and surrounding areas. There was soft music. The family choir consisted of the Andersons saying, "Soon and very soon," and then Reverend Greg Anderson, Reverend Kevin Cummins, all Andersons read from the Old Testament and the New Testament. And the family choir sang, "Sending Up My Temple." And did they sing? The prayer of gratitude by Pastor Reverend Michael Ward. The resolutions were read by Elva Anderson, and they came from various churches and organizations. Nancy Davis spoken on behalf of the Dungy Alumni Association. But then the family choir and John Armour sang, "When the roll is called in heaven." And as he did this, there were so many memories of the voice of Ori Anderson Sr., who had been silenced by death. There were tributes. Dolores Anderson, a cousin, told about her experiences as a child and the respect that she had for her cousin. But then Kenneth Hines talked about his grandfather. He talked about his grandfather in such a way that there were people there that wished they had a grandfather like Ori Anderson. But Guida Anderson, one of the smartest students that has ever walked the halls of Dungy School, very successful, dignified, beautiful young lady, spoke about her father. Oh, she's very humble. She thanked everybody for coming, and she related her childhood experiences. What a tribute by a beautiful daughter to a father. And then Ori Anderson Jr. sang his eye is on the sparrow. And he did it, hands went up in the air. And people just grasped because they were in contact with something that was beautiful. The eulogy was delivered by Reverend W.B. Parker. Reverend Parker said of Mr. Anderson that he was a unique kind of a man, and he was ready to die. Reverend Parker said he was a child of the King and an heir to the throne of God. A great deacon, a great father, yes, one that had a voice that could move people. The most outstanding words that I've heard and the greatest tribute that could be paid to a father was that he didn't produce any lazy children, nor did he produce any jailbirds. He fought against poverty. He fought against laziness, an unusual family. But most of all, he kept the faith. Now, I must tell you that Mr. Ori Anderson was born in Choctaw, Oklahoma. I must tell you that he was one of the chartered members of the loving St. James Baptist Church. I must tell you that he used his voice. I must tell you that he worked in the church until his death. And today, days later, we remember Ori Anderson. What happened last Tuesday, that was history. No one had seen anything like it. No one had ever witnessed that many talented members of one family singing the songs of their father, their grandfather, and their uncle. What a day. That part of the program was brought to you by Clara Luper. Yes, I wanted to tell that because that's a historic event. And today, I know the members of that family would like to say thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you. But then we should be saying thanks to the family. And thanks to God that allowed us to share great moments in history with the Anderson family. Moments that we should never forget. And to his lovely wife, Louise, of the home, to his children, 2 sons and 9 daughters, we say, thank God. And you are some fortunate people to have a father that cared. Clara Luper reporting. Okay, calling all Deltas, 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 Deltas. Contact your bosses or your president. Do that. This is Clara Luper. And hello. Hello.
Oh, how you this
Oh,
morning?
I'm fine. Words of wisdom.
Oh,
People really
thank
missed you,
you.
but you know we've been out to the
It
fair.
takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow. It takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow.
Well, thank you so very kindly. We have certainly, and the people missed you. I'm so
Right.
glad that you are back. Thank you so very kindly. It takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow. Go, go, go. You are something special. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and now I come to another big story. At 7 o'clock last Thursday, a large crowd gathered at the neighborhood Missionary Baptist Church, located at 997 North Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. They gathered there because the Clara Luper scholarships 5 of them for $4,000 cash. Cash. $4,000 cash was issued to 5 students that had qualified for the Clara Luper Scholarship. Let's kind of look at these students. There was that was Alyra Smith, who is a student at Cameron University. Brandon Bryant, a student at UCO. Leah Parker, a student at Oklahoma City University. Donna Holman, a student at the Oklahoma State School of Arts in Chickasha, Oklahoma. Kia Hornbeek, a student at Oklahoma City University. These students had qualified under the qualifications that were set up for the Clara Luper Scholarship Award. And each one of those students received $4,000 cash. $4,000 cash each. There to greet them was the recipients of the 2002 Clara Luper Scholarship awardees. They were there to greet them. If you attended that ceremony last Thursday night, I want you to call me at 6721-1200, and I want to get your reaction to it, because I'm accused all the time of bragging. But if you had been there on last Thursday night, you had seen my students, you too would brag. And I want each one of you to find something to brag about, because I really have something to brag about. When I saw my students from last year, when they came home to report to the people what they had done, it was something special. And I want to get your reaction first before I fully give mine. What an honor. But I'd like to tell you, we were at the Neighborhood Missionary Baptist Church, and I've never seen anything like it. When we arrived at that church, we took our tablecloths and everything so we could sit up for the reception, and when we got there, we were greeted by a pastor, an pastor, a friendly pastor, who rushed out to our car, took our things out, and when we got in there, that pastor had set up the tables, everything was ready. And Lady Ruth Hunter, and all of you know how she is. Everything she asked for, the pastor said, we have it here. What a pastor. What a friendly pastor. And I cannot say too much for his lovely wife. And I'm going to tell you something else. But I'd rather for Lady Ruth Hunter to tell you what that pastor did. That's some pastor. He made everybody feel so at home and stayed with us until that ceremony was over. But the highlight was an address by Mr. Russell Perry, a successful businessman who spoke to the recipients and to the parents in such a way that I was flooded with calls. Yesterday I called Mr. Perry and asked him if he would let me have his secretary so they could come over to my house and answer the telephone, because people were impressed. And there was some to say that I had never heard Mr. Russell Perry speak. And everybody said, Clara, what about Russell Perry? I said, one thing about Russell Perry, anytime a black man can hire over 100 people to work for him, and I can't hire 2, I'm going to salute him. And today I would like to salute Mr. Russell Perry. If you were at the fair on last Thursday night at the Neighborhood Missionary Baptist Church, call me. Call me here at the studio, 672-1220. What do you say about Mrs. Bosie Walker and her prayer? What do you say about Rosetta Coleman, who warmed our hearts? Well, we just want to thank you, God. What do you say? What do you say about Reverend Luper, who gave us a closing challenging prayer? I don't know what you're going to say, but I want to hear from you out in Radio Land because I can get so excited and I'm so thrilled. And I just thank God that He allowed me to be there, to see the expression of the families, to see the young people when they receive their money. What an opportunity. And those of you out in Radio Land, I think that I would like for somebody else to give some scholarships in the name of Clara Luper. And what can I say? Because I'm going to tell you about another scholarship that I received. And if everybody that talk, if you would put something, if you would put something into our young people beside talk and what they are doing, it would be a different story. I would like to thank Mr. E.K. Gaylord II for giving us $20,000 to give to 5 young people that made up to the qualifications that he said. And those qualifications were easy. You had to have good grades. You have to have a good reputation. You have to be in attendance at school. And there are a lot of young people that go to school that don't attend school. They go to school and they have reason to cut school and bawl the teachers out. And I would like to say to you young people, you got to have recommendations. So if you have walked over people and you don't have no recommendations and you come up for the Clara Luper Scholarship, you won't get it. Because you have to have certain high standards in order to get that scholarship. Now, who will give you $4,000 cash for acting a fool? Nobody's going to do that. But maybe you can find someone to do it. I know I can't, because the people that I associate is looking for people that can give something back to the community and can live in such a way that life will be better for them. I will announce later when I will start taking applications for the 2004 scholarship. But one thing Mr. E.K. Gaylord II told me, he said, Clara, when you die, this scholarship will live on. Isn't that exciting? And I said, Mr. Gaylord, I'm going to be dead a long time. He said, when you die, the scholarship will continue. This is the Clara Luper radio show. And today I'll be out in Yukon, Oklahoma at the Czech Festival. And some of my best friends are Czechs. Well, this is Clara Luper. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Ms. Luper.
Yes.
This is one of your former students, Ruby Meadows Moore, and I attended the ceremony on Thursday night.
Tell me about it.
And I think it was a beautiful affair. Everything was just really, really beautiful. And you have a right to brag.
Okay. How did you feel when I gave those students $4,000? You know, I was standing up there with $20,000 in my hand.
I felt so proud because I know the work that you've done, because being my teacher, what I am today contributes a lot to what you did even with me. And I was very, very grateful and thankful. And God bless you. You've done a beautiful job.
Well, I can brag about you because you have certainly made me happy through the years. Because I know when you walk in, there come education, there come dedication, there come Christianity, and you're a leader in this community, and I love you. And thank you for attending. You were impressed. What did you think about Mr. Perry's speech?
It was a good speech.
Oh,
very good presentation.
Oh, well, thank you so very kindly. Well, I've heard from one person. Let me hear from you. That was at that ceremony, because it was some ceremony. And that food, it was just something. You see, after the ceremony, the young people, the recipients of last year's award and this year's award, went into the beautiful reception hall, and there they were able to greet their friends, and they were able to go by that table that had been prepared so beautifully. The telephone number is 672-1220. We have something to talk about. You know, if we would talk about the good things that our children are doing, it would be a different world. I am so excited and I'm so grateful to God that He has given me the opportunity from Hoffman, Oklahoma, And most people that I talk to say, I don't know where Hoffman is. I say, that's because you're a poor geography student. Hello?
Yes, Luper.
Yes.
This is Reverend C.J. Littlefield.
Yes.
And I just want to let you know that I really enjoyed being there with you on the program and being there with those young people. And I was just delighted to hear how some of them were speaking, the things that they're trying to do, some of the things they have already accomplished. And I must commend you for being a trailblazer and leading these young people in this community and the things that what you've done. You know, there's a verse says that let my work speak for itself, to know that my living will not be in vain.
Now, don't talk about Clara Luper. Let's talk about those beautiful students.
Those young children are doing a marvelous job, and that's what it takes nowadays. If they expect to be able to achieve and expect to be able to accomplish something in life, they must be committed. They must be dedicated. And those young people prove that what can be done if they apply themselves. And I just want to commend the whole entire program because I really was just enjoyed the whole show. Not the show itself, but I mean the program, and to be able to see those young people come and give hope. Well, we know that through them there will be a future.
Oh.
I just want to.
And you saw me give $20,000 out, didn't you?
I saw you actually pass out $20,000. I was there watching you as you was calling out their names and presenting the envelopes to them, and the things that you expressed to them, and to let them know that what their scholarship is for, that many young people have the same opportunity if they would just apply themselves and know that there is someone who is willing to help them if they're willing to help themselves. So I just want to take my hat off. I commend Mr. Perry for a wonderful speech that which he made and the encouragement which he gave to the young people. And the overall program itself was just a wonderful event.
I would like to thank you for that moving prayer that you gave, a challenging prayer. It was just wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today I'll be out in Yukon with my friends who are descendants of Czechoslovakia, the Czechs. I will be out there, and I can proudly say some of my friends are Czechs. What an opportunity. But I want to hear from those of you that attended the ceremony when five young people received $4,000 each to continue their education. Let me hear from you. The telephone number is 672-1220. We can talk about the bad things that young people are doing, but let's talk about the good things. Because the good things, if people knew, somebody asked me what were the qualifications of getting into the Clara Luper scholarship bracket. I did not set the qualifications. Mr. E.K. Gaylord II, who furnished the money, set the qualifications, and what I did was I implemented it. I looked through scholarship applications, and on some applications, there were words that were misspelled. Well, I disregarded that. There were some that didn't have any references. I disregarded that because what you young people are going to have to know, you got to have references. And I was so proud of the young people that we honored, but they came in with the qualifications, with the references and what have you. And a lot of people don't like old people, but I'm going to tell you young people something. The old people have paved the way for you. And when you go to your church on Sunday, don't be too busy to walk over them. Take time and speak to them. Take time with old folks. Because let me tell you something, and maybe I hate to tell you this, but if you keep getting up every day cleaning your teeth, someday you're going to be old. Well, I love old folks because every time I look at someone that's my senior, and I'm old too, I just feel proud that they were able to hold on. And that is something. Mrs. Rosetta Coleman proved to us. Oh, she moved us with that song. And then that MC, Billy, that MC was something. Thank you, Mrs. Greenhower. Oh, I would like to thank everybody. And I cannot say too much about Lady Ruth Hunter. I cannot say nothing too much about Mrs. Gloria Matthews, who was all smiles. I cannot say too much about them because we have some workers that are out of sight. I don't know about you, but we add new workers, but we should get rid of our old workers. That's one thing we don't do. We have workers that's been with us ever since we started, and we have to recognize them. And I would like to thank the deacons from my church that came out. I looked in the crowd and I saw Deacon Thomas Bird and his lovely wife. I saw Deacon Wedgeworth and his lovely wife Betty, who's a former student at Dungy School. And I don't care where I've gone and what I've done, I can count on those Wedgeworths. And those Wedgeworths are worth everything to me because they are always there. You cannot get rid of old people or young people or middle-aged people and succeed. Well, we had a combination of all of it. Mrs. Stell was there with her beautiful smile and said, oh, they were there. They had come to witness. And when you look at these young people, you say, there they are. There they are. My dreams, my aspirations, and my hope. And as Marilyn always put it, I'm extremely interested in working with you because my Social Security will depend on you. Be sure and call me if you were there. If you witnessed the giving, something that has never happened before, $20,000. Now, last year, you remember we gave $20,000 on radio. We were at KVSP in Oklahoma City, and we were there. Mrs. Marie Weekly was there, and incidentally, you saw her as those people at that neighborhood missionary Baptist church. Oh, I've heard a lot of noise. I've seen people jumping up and down, but I'm talking about genuine friendliness. It was there. Oh, you may call me at 672-1220. If you've seen anything like it, let me know. If you know, let me know. I need that information. Hello? Hello?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter. This week, I would like to encourage the students to get involved in extracurricular activities, not only in school, but in your church or community. In your community, you can join organizations such as NAACP Youth Council, where we meet every Monday at 7 o'clock. We learn everything from how to speak properly, to managing money, to manners. Also, you can join A-Plus Academics. It is also in some churches. A-Plus focuses on helping students from 4th to 12th grade in subjects such as math and reading. They have different competitions, such as writing, reading, and math competitions. And it really does help in school. You will see the difference. In school, you can not only join sports, but join things like student council, where you can be a leader. And if you want to change something in your school, run for a student council officer and make a difference. There's also an organization called FCCLA, which is nationwide. It stands for Family, Career, Community Leaders of America. It is also Future Homemakers of America. What I hope the students are getting out of this today is if you keep busy with positive things, you will not have time for negative things. This is Coco Thomas saying, stay involved.
Thank you, Coco. Stay involved. Stay involved if you intend for the world to be a better place to live. No wonder Mrs. Berry, Mrs. Mary Omna Harmon, Mrs. Nancy Davis, Mrs. Leota Hannah, Mrs. Helen Smith, all that whole group We're all ready to go. Hello?
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Good morning, Mrs. Gloria.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having such a wonderful reception and program that you had Thursday night. It was just fantastic.
Oh, well, tell me your feeling. How did you
I just feel so good. And I feel so good that I had two of the recipients that I sent in there. And I am so glad that congratulations to all of them. But I still want to congratulate to Miss Parker and Miss Martin.
Okay, Miss Parker.
Miss Parker and Miss my other recipient that last year was a receiver of the scholarship last year.
Oh, Candace Knight.
Candace Knight. I'm sorry, Candace. I was thinking of your mother. But anyway, it was such a fantastic affair. I've been talking about it, and I've been getting a lot of calls too about the banquet. Why didn't I know about it? Well, you have to listen to the radio. You have to speak. Like Coco said, you have to be involved and stay on top of everything because it was such a beautiful, beautiful affair. And I want to thank Miss Zachary for sending me the beautiful flowers yesterday. She's still thanking me for involving her daughter.
And she sent you some flowers yesterday.
Miss Zachary, Miss Parker's mother sent me flowers yesterday.
Well, that is
she was thinking about where she was thanking me for introducing her to the program. Because it's bad to say, but Miss Zachary said she didn't know anything about the Freedom Center. She knew about NACP, but she didn't, as long as we've been here, but she didn't really know about that before I introduced her to it and had put her daughter in it. So I still want to thank her for the beautiful flowers that they
Well, that's the way to do it. If you want to do something for somebody, do it now because
you never know what's going to happen in the future.
What did you think about Mr. Perry's speech?
Well, I thought he was a wonderful speaker. Mr. Perry, I've heard him speak before, but he gave a fantastic speech Thursday night. It was just so good. Everything he said was just the right thing, and I want to thank him for participating and for them, Gaylord, for them giving the scholarships to the recipients. It was just a wonderful affair.
Okay, what did you think about that church out there?
The church was just beautiful. It was decorated pretty. They just had it, and they were so nice. I was trying to get in there. I'm a hospitality chairman, and I just went to see everything was fine because Miss Hunter had really put everything just in place. But I went back there, since I was the hospitality chairman, and I wanted to see that the punch and stuff was right. And I'd already found it, put it out, and everything. And I want to thank those members of that church. You sure have some beautiful members out there. They were so friendly, and they just helped in every way they could.
They didn't stand back and look at you like you were strange. They didn't stand back and look at you like you were
strange. They were just working the whole time. They just didn't let us do anything. I was just offering my help. But Miss Hunter, she did a fantastic job. The food was just delicious. The tables and the flowers, the settings was just beautiful. And I sure want to get one of those pictures.
Well, yeah, I saw you. I looked at the pictures. They are beautiful.
I certainly want to get some of them.
I know you want the pictures where you were standing between your two contestants.
Yeah, I was standing there between the two recipients, Candace and Aaliyah Parker.
Well,
and I'm sure happy they're continuing to keep their grades up and continuing to do. They are very sweet girls. They're good girls. And I'm grateful for that. And I want to thank God for them because you don't see that every day. They were just beautiful. And I hope you continue to stay involved and stay on top and just try to help pick somebody else up with you. Well, you are really examples for young people.
Mrs. Gloria Matthews, while you're on, I want to tell the people that this program is sponsored by Johnson Chardina's Daycare, located in the heart of Oklahoma City, located in a place that's convenient for you. You can always come to Johnson Chardina's, and you can meet a staff. Tell me about your staff.
Well, I have staff. I have one staff member, Linda Smallwood. Linda Smallwood has been with me 27 years, and I have Ophelia
That's a record. That's a record.
Just came back. She's been with me 9 years. Miss Bosie Walker is also my part-time staff, And also Miss Ruth Young in the infant room for 6 years. She's been there. And then Miss Mr. Paul Matthews, which he's the bus driver. He teaches too. We teach the young, older, before and after school kids every evening. He's one of the teachers with them. And I want to let everybody know that we do have room for 4 infants and about 3 toddlers, and we have room for 3-year-olds.
Now, Chauncey Chadinas is located at 1643 Northeast of 50th Street, and you may call 424-4656, and they will pick up and deliver. Will you say a special hello to Mr. Paul Matthews?
I certainly will, because I just hate he missed that, but he said he won't miss it again. And our new number at our home is 843-2703.
843 what?
41 Northwest 81st Street.
843 what?
843-2703.
And you have moved, not the nursery. The nursery
No,
is
just
still...
the house. We moved from our home.
Okay, well,
But
that's...
you can reach us at our home any time of night, anytime you want child care. Or just to talk to us. We welcome your call.
843-2701.
2703. 843-2703.
0301.
No, 843-2703.
03. Okay, well, let me get it right. Well, you were looking good other night, and I'm really proud of you. And that Miss Walker's prayer was something
Oh,
else.
it's always good. She's just so uplifting.
And Mr. Perry's speech.
Mr. Perry, just like I say, I just couldn't say too much about his speech because it was fantastic.
Okay.
And he was my speaker. No, he was my daughter's speaker one year.
Okay.
And he was my speaker at the Miss Black Oklahoma one year.
Okay.
And we really appreciate you, Mr. Perry. You're doing a wonderful job.
Okay. Well, thank you so very kindly, and thank you for calling us this morning.
Thank you,
because
Miss Luper.
you were there. Mrs. Gloria Mathis saw it. And let me ask you, were you there? Did you see those young people? And one thing, I was as happy as if I were receiving $4,000. I know one thing, there are some people that have supported me all through the years. The Howards, Helen Howard and Deacon Howard from Tabernacle Baptist Church was there. Well, what we did, we sent out notices to all of the churches, the schools, and if they didn't respond, don't blame me. Blame me. I mean, somebody asked me where was my pastor. I don't know. If you want to know where my pastor was, you call him. His name is Reverend A. Byron Coleman, the third at Fifth Street Baptist Church. And don't call me and ask me why my pastor was not there. You call him and ask him, because I do not know. And you ask me about my pastor. Well, you are my pastor. You that was there. That's who my pastor was, because you were there supporting me. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and one young lady that was not there was because she was ill, and that was Ann Slaughter. But her prayers was there, and she had called and said, Clara, I'm with you all the way. Well, I've always told all you to give me my flowers while I live, because when I die, I don't want you bringing no flowers, putting on my casket and putting around me for somebody to carry out. And Wilma Wooden, one of my students, I was so glad to see Wilma. I was so glad to see all of you, because I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma, where you learn to appreciate people. And somebody say, Clara, why is it that you have so many friends? Let me ask you a question. Why is it you don't have many friends? That's a question you need to ask, because in order to have friends, you must be a friend. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today I will be with my friends out in Yukon, Oklahoma. Here I come. Yes, I'll be out in Yukon, Oklahoma, because you want my CP's catfish, you want Calvin's French fries, and you want Maryland's gumbo. Maryland's gumbo. Now, Maryland be selling them beans and rice, and she's just wonderful. And also shrimp on the stick. And I'm expecting Calvin to call me from Yukon, Oklahoma. We would like to thank Mr. Roberts from Yukon, Oklahoma, that's always going to see to it that we are on duty. You know, it's really great to have friends. A friend is someone that's in need, not someone that jump up and down, but someone that helps you when you are in need. And I want to thank all of my friends. I just want to thank Reverend Baker again for the hospitality. Do you realize that after the reception, Reverend Baker, the pastor, and his beautiful wife, helped us to clean up and put everything up? I know some pastors wouldn't dare touch a chair or a table, but Reverend Baker, you don't know how much we appreciate you. And we are going to be talking about you every day because I've had more people to call me and say, Miss Luper, that's the first time I've been to that church, but I'm going back to this church. Well, if you need to see a good doctor, Calvin tell you talk about a doctor, and he will be with me. I know he will call in this morning. But I've told you about the Deltas, and you can't say I didn't tell you. The Deltas will be having their 6th annual scholarship ball. It's a scholarship and masquerade ball. You can dress like anything you want to dress it. If you're a devil, why don't you dress like the devil and walk in there? But how does the devil look? I don't know who's seen the devil. But anyway, you dress the way you want to dress. The donation's only $25 a person. Sponsored by the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Turn back the hands of time. I would like to congratulate the new leaders of the Miss Black UCO pageant. You know, last year that we didn't have a participant, but this year we're going to have one. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and we're going to be talking to you. Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Luper. This is your friend, Nancy Davis. I had to call in to tell you that I was so happy to attend the scholarship program at the Neighborhood Baptist Church. That was the best program, and I want to tell you I was so impressed with this pastor, Reverend
Baker.
That's Baker.
Yes.
Yes, he came and greeted us when we first came in, and his wife greeted us, and of course I'm so proud of his wife because she was my student over at Star Spencer High School.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, she's such a great lady. She's from a great family.
Well,
that
she's
Ford
pretty.
family I've taught of all of
I
those
can say
girls.
she's pretty.
Yes. She is a young lady who greeted us there, and then she came in at the reception and helped those ladies. Boy, the ladies at their church gave us such good food, and Mrs. Lady Ruth was in charge, and that food was good and most delicious. Oh, I really enjoyed the way that they worked together at that church.
What about the program and my recipients this year?
Listen, that program was out of sight. I just enjoyed seeing those students hold their heads up, speaking out, telling us how much they appreciated the scholarships. Those students were there to receive the scholarships this year, and we had students who received scholarships last year. They were very articulate. Their English was just good. And Mrs. Luper, I want to tell you that you are to be complimented for that nice program and the hard work that you're doing in helping our community.
Okay, let's get off of Miss Luper. Let's not talk about Clara Luper. Let's talk about my children and the people that
I
came
can't
out.
hear you. They're cutting my yard.
Okay, don't talk about Clara Luper. Talk about my children and my people, the people at that church, and what you actually saw with your own eyes.
Well, I want to talk about the program, too. That program was really out of sight. I sure enjoyed Mrs. Rosie Walker, Mrs. Rosetta Coleman, and Mrs. Greenwood, and all of those who participated on the program, and especially Russell Perry. He was very dynamic, he was short, and he had something to say to the young people that they will always enjoy. I was impressed also with how the parents were there with those students who came out and those who have received scholarships. It is really good, people, to be behind your students, your children. Show them. Those parents were there, the grandparents, great-grandparents, and relatives. And it was a very wonderful group of people who attended that scholarship program.
Well, Nancy, did you know that Reverend Baker saw, when he saw that large crowd, see, we were not preparing for that many people. He went and got additional food.
Oh, well, that food, it was so much of it, so good.
Well, Reverend Baker and his lovely wife went and got some more. There's not many people that would have done that, and I'm so grateful.
Well, you know, I've gone to the neighborhood Baptist churches several times for different things, and I want you to know that that Ford family, Reverend Ford, started that out. He and his wife always had plenty of good food, beautiful service, and his daughter, what's her name, Cleo? Clotilde, Mrs. Baker. Oh, she is just part of that whole church family, and those people at the church, oh, they are just such wonderful. They are good hosts and hostesses. I enjoyed that food, and they served us so well. I enjoyed seeing the people who came, the people who have received all kinds of awards from the Clara Luper banquet. Well, I won't talk about you, but I'll tell you it was a wonderful gathering.
Well,
and we all should stress education, and I like the point that you're stressing moral character. They have to stay in school, work hard. They must have good character, not to do anything that will hurt them or their family in the future. And you know, that's what we should teach our children when they go to school. I was talking to some little kids the other day, even at Starksville School. They are going to college, but they said, one or two said they wish they had somebody talk to them when they were in the 9th grade to tell them not to cut classes and to stay out of trouble. So I'm telling you, parents, talk to your children every day. See what they are doing. And you will find out that you will be a lot of help if you direct them in the right direction.
Well, thank you. Tell Lady Ruth Hunter to call me, please.
Okay, bye-bye.
We've asked our people to wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water of understanding. Wade in the water by showing appreciation of diversity. Wade in the water by going to the top. Wade in the water by going to the top of your class. Wade in the water by showing gratitude, appreciation, and love for all mankind. Wade in the water by exhibiting good citizenship, happiness, tenacity, understanding, dedication, cooperation, preparation, and hard work. Wade in the water of honesty and integrity. Somebody called me and said, Miss Luper, I noticed you gave a white girl scholarship. Of course I did. So what? Why don't you give a black one, or a white one, or a polka dot one? And you want to know why I did it? Listen very carefully. I did it because Mr. Gaylord gave me the Clara Luper Scholarship with the understanding of the characteristics and the things that I was looking for. And what I want you to do is talk about what I should have done, because I tell you what you should have done. You should have done something, and it's better to do something than to do nothing. I'm waiting on Lady Ruth Hunter and Calvin Luper to call me, because Calvin is in Yukon, Oklahoma, and he's supposed to call because he wanted to sing happy birthday to all of you people that were born in October. Nobody's going to ask you, and nobody's going to feed you with a silver spoon. And that's one thing I like about watching birds. You know, there aren't any birds in Guam because the snakes have destroyed the birds. But in watching the birds every morning, they have to get up and dig for something. And that's what you're going to have to do. And that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to dig for what I want. I'm waiting for Calvin Luper and Lady Ruth Hunter to call me. And I do hope that they will. If they don't, well, I can say I waited for them. And then sometimes you wait for things that just don't happen. Well, wade in the water, children. And don't you get tired, but wade in the water of understanding. Wade in the water of love. And if, hello? Hello?
Why, good morning, Mrs.
And I've been waiting for you, Lady Hunter.
Well, I've been waiting to get on, too. But I did want to call before you left and said hello to you and all the people in Radio Land and tell them what a wonderful program we had on the night of the 2nd, honoring the persons that received their scholarships. It was a beautiful and tremendous program, and if they missed it, they missed a treat of their life. And the remarks from the people who received those scholarships last year was tremendous.
Okay, what about the church there? I know you...
don't mention that church. Listen, I've been to a lot of churches in my life, but I have never been to a church with so much hospitality, so much courtesy, and so much help. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. You won't believe the pastor's wife. I did not know her, and she came in. She said, well, may I help you? And I said, well, would you? She said, oh, I want to do something. And she stayed there and worked through the entire program from 5 o'clock until that program was over. And that was the pastor's wife. And you know, no one ever helped you clean up. And when the refreshments were served and everything was over, and I went back into the kitchen to clean up, and the kitchen was already cleaned up. I said, I can't believe this. And I know those people wonder what was I talking about. I didn't have to clean off the table, remove the food. It was all done, cleaned, and put up for us. They did that. And I want to congratulate them and thank them and know how much I appreciate their service.
When the food was running low because we had not counted on that many people coming, is it true that Reverend...
That's right. The Reverend said, oh, my goodness, he told his wife, she said, this is not going to be enough food for all those people that have come because we didn't anticipate that many persons. And he said, go get some more food. And she did. She went and got the food, and she didn't ask us, may I go get it? Her husband said he didn't think it was going to be enough for the number of people that arrived, and we didn't anticipate that many. She went and got the food and bought the food and served the food and put it on the trays, all without you knowing about it. I was there in the kitchen, so I knew about it.
Okay.
And I said, why all of this? She said, my husband said there wasn't going to be enough food, Miss Hunter, for all those people that came in. Told me to go get some more, and this is what I've done. And we needed it.
And Mrs. Hunter, you saw me give $20,000 last year to 5 students, didn't you? You were in the studio, right?
Right. And then I saw you give 5 more this time. And the people think we're telling us stories in yesterday morning's paper. So pick up the paper and look in there, and they can read about it.
Okay, and a lot of people call me and say, Clara, why didn't you tell me about it? I told everybody about it.
Right, I told everybody because you had told us to bring at least 10 people with us, but I didn't take a single one with me.
Okay.
And some of the other advisors didn't bring a single one with them.
If we had, we wouldn't have had a full house.
We had the people there.
Okay, now I will let people know when to start sending applications. And don't send me an application now because I'm not reading any applications until I make an announcement when I will accept applications for the 2004.
But they can start getting their applications ready and getting the things they want to put on their applications. So when you do announce it, they'll have it already and won't have to be trying to look
and I'm
around
not having any difficulty reading the application. If I can't read your application, I'm sure not going to give you a scholarship. Mr. Perry made an astounding announcement about what will happen to the last 5 that received their $4,000. Do you remember what he said would happen in January?
Oh, let me see. I don't remember exactly the specifics. What were they?
He said he's going to see to it that those 5 that received $20,000 last year would receive $20,000 in January. Later, I'm going to have to let you go because I got to get out to the Czech Festival, and I'm expecting Calvin to call me because I don't know what would happen if he didn't call and didn't sing his song. Because
That's right. You're going out with the Czechoslovakians, you said, didn't you?
yeah, I'm going to the Czechs festival. You
Well,
know, diversity to me is everything, and some of my best friends are white.
right.
And some of my best
Have
friends are
have a
black.
wonderful time out there,
Okay,
and bye now.
by now. Well, let's see if I'm going to get Calvin, because I don't want you fussing at me because Calvin didn't sing you happy birthday to you. Is Calvin on the line? Hello, Calvin.
Mom,
Yes.
good morning. Welcome to the Czechoslovakian Festival here in Yukon, Oklahoma.
Are you
I know
all
we're
set
running
up?
short on time, but I got our brother Don here that's over the thing, and I want you to holler at him right quick. Don, quick, something. We're
Don.
live in the living color, KTLV 1220 on your AM dial.
Don.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello,
We're
Don.
We're out here in beautiful Yukon, America. We've got about, I'd say probably around 30, maybe 40 food booth vendors out here for anything that you might want to eat. We've got over 160 craft booth vendors, so any kind of crafts that you might need, we've got out here. And we certainly have our beer garden open and the Czech building where you can get your kolaches and your Czech sandwiches and everything like that. So we're having a great time. We need you out here.
How many people are you expecting at the festival this year?
With today's weather, it looks like it's going to clear up and be a beautiful day, so we're probably going to look at about 40 to 45,000 people.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for giving somebody as black as me, and I'm black as a blackberry.
Well, we welcome you all.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
You betcha. Come on down. Have a great time.
Okay, I'm going to have a great time. Make room for me because I'm on my way to the Czech festival. I love that Czech food, too. But I love
Super duper.
Okay. Where's Calvin? He better sing quickly.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, Calvin.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Reverend Burris. Thank you, Oklahoma City. It's such a thrill, such a pleasure to be out here in Yukon, America, another great part of Oklahoma. If you want to live, if you want to see the good things that happen, you need to be out here. We invite you to come out and to be a part of it. Today is a very special day because this is a birthday for some great people out there. Auntie, I did you last week, but then Maria, I know that you're listening. I know that you're on the highway. This song goes out especially for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maria. Happy birthday, Maria. Happy birthday to you. And may you have many, many more. And can I see you? Can I see you here at the Czechoslovakian Festival here in Yukon, America? Mom, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We made it here safely, but most importantly of all, we made it here ready to give and to share with another part of Oklahoma some great product, and that's Miss Merlin's gumbo, Miss Merlin's seafood gumbo, Miss Merlin's beans and rice, shrimp on a stick, and of course CP's catfish,
and Calvin's French fries. Okay, Calvin, I'll see you in a few minutes when I get off.
In a few minutes?
Yes, when I get off there, be sure and call me.
Okay.
This is
Clara. Tell Reverend Burris thanks for that extra minute.
Okay, thank
Tell
you.
Alexis thanks for his good time. But most importantly of all, I want to see all of you out here to come out and to be a part of this great show. We get it together. We'll have it together in a minute, all right?
Thank you. This is Clara
right.
Luper saying, whatever you do, stay out of trouble. You can't buy no catfish in jail. Bye-bye.
Okay, but you can't get some of the...
Right, I know you can get.
Thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Clara Luper Show. Join Sister Clara Luper here each and every Saturday from 9 until 10 at your number one gospel station, KTLV. And until next Saturday, may God bless you.
And the views and opinions expressed on the preceding program are not necessarily those of AM Radio 1220 KTLV.
Father, I need your helping hand.
This is your key to living victoriously, AM 1220 KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City, and streaming audio at www.ktlv1220.com.